Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Curtis Selby, your tired midnight blogger. What blogs? In this case, at 6:24 p.m. Likely going to be starting my posts a little bit later because while the job is great, they have me both starting and, well, ending a little bit later. Anyway, it's still a great job, so I'm not complaining. I'm going to try to get this done before Netter's Network, and so because I was a little bit antsy to get rolling, I am starting early. I'm going to say hello to the chat, make a announcement, and then I will dive into the topic, which is drones and the Blob. What's going on with the drones? What's going on with the Blob? You may or may not understand what the heck my little icon and thumbnail are about. Maybe some of it will become more plain as I discuss these things. Gonna say hello to everyone in the chat. Hail, Charlotte Night Star the Werewolf. Oh! Welcome, welcome. Congratulations on writing another story. Y'all go check out her channel, listen to some of her music, read some of her stories. It is well worth your time. And John Ponderero, welcome, welcome. Thank you for your prayers, your brotherly love, and your links to cool information. Netter's Network later, 9 o'clock Central, I hope. I think that's the time. Let me know if I'm wrong. She is celebrating monetization and her 21st birthday. God bless her. She was the first person to interview me, so I love to give those kind folks support. I left the poll up. The first one made no sense, so I made another poll whether you guys would prefer I streamed on Monday or Tuesday. Kapla, Space Fraggle, glory to you and your house. We shall send birds of prey to New Jersey and make them pay. All right. Let's look into some of the things that I have to share. First, I'm going to be a little bit self-aggrandizing, but maybe, if I can find it. So, I know everyone has been watching and listening. Some people have put me on maybe not 24-hour things, but are watching nearly every day. It is having some impact. I am finally under 1,000 hours needed to monetize. I'm up to 2,093, meaning I need 907 more watch hours. So if you basically watching this stream, that's awesome and amazing. Maybe tomorrow, if you're bored sometime at work, pick something and watch it. And something you haven't listened to before. And hopefully you like it. And if you don't, well, go ahead and skip it. But anyway, I am on the road, and hopefully things continue to go well. So I found out the other day that for a while, there have been mysterious drones flying over the state of New Jersey. I'm going to quote from 1440 here. I'm not going to share it because it's in my email, and I don't want you to see all the porn stars that send their stuff to me. I think it was yesterday's. No, that's the Netanyahu trial. Well, heck, maybe it was 3 days ago. Anyway, I just won't worry about it. The report that I read said that the drones were coming from the ocean. And of course, that's weird. You would think that American drones would come from America. But there it is. Let us see what the news, CBS Evening News, the talking heads have to say about it. New Jersey drone mystery. Oh, I need to let me know if you can hear it.
They are concerned and demanding information after a wave of mysterious. People in New Jersey are concerned and demanding information after a wave of mysterious drone sightings. But the government has yet to give any concrete answers. One lawmaker is calling for a state of emergency, while another has an ominous theory about a foreign adversary. Here's CBS's Tom Hansen.
This is over my house right now. What is that?
It's the million-dollar question baffling New Jersey residents looking skyward.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Since last month, dozens of drones mysteriously hovering in the skies at night. Near Morris County, the FAA has now ordered 2 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over this military base and Trump National Golf Club after receiving reports of unexplained activity. Today, Homeland Security and state police met with some New Jersey officials, including Mayor Jim Maley.
I truly don't believe that they have any idea where the drones are coming from.
Many still have questions, including Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who says individuals with high security clearance have a theory about where the drones come from.
All right, we will listen to his theory momentarily. John Pontorero, sorry to be late. No. I started a little bit early, actually. Well, I mean, depending on your perspective, I've started. I got it ready to start at 6:30 Central Time, but I actually started about 5 or 6 minutes early. John also says that they come from Atlantis. Yeah, I'm looking for Ray Crash Corrigan to come in and fight the robots and the evil Emperor Unga Khan. The X-Files theme, Hail Darth Plato. Tweedledee-deedledee-deedledee-deedledee-deed. I wonder if I could play that without getting a YouTube strike. John Pontorero, the Stargate program is not fiction. The drones are from Atlantis. Well, I'll believe that as much as I'll believe about anything else. Let's see what this gentleman's theory is as Reagan and Lincoln gaze on.
Their concern is that a mothership has left from Iran weeks ago, coinciding about the time somewhere along the area of the United States. It doesn't mean they're right off the coast.
But in a briefing today, Pentagon officials dismissed the claim outright.
We have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary.
In Mendham, New Jersey, Olivia DiMattio's coffee shop is right near the sensitive locations where the drones have been spotted.
How big are these things?
We don't have any news for you, but we're going to show you these lovely images of beautiful women baristas making me coffee.
You know, are they different sizes?
They are the size of small cars, like almost like a Mini Cooper or a Ford Escape size. So it's not something that a kid is buying off of Amazon and flying around as a prank. Like, it's way, way past that.
And we're here in front of Picatinny Arsenal. It provides munitions products for all branches of the U.S. military. It's also one of those sensitive sites that these drones have flown close to. And Nora, both lawmakers we spoke to today say one of these drones needs to be taken down safely so they can get some answers.
Mystery deepens. All right, Tom Hansen, thank you very much.
All right, we're going to send our best, Scooby-Doo himself, to investigate. John Pontorero says the truth is out there. Scully, don't you understand? There are aliens out there. The mothership. John Pontorero, is she trans, the Pentagon chick? I've always wondered. I do not know. Not 100% sure that I want to know. Oh, hey, War Pig liked my X post of talking about drones in the deep state. Now, I'm more eager to talk about the deep state because I've got more information about that than I do about the drones. But I think the drones are a good segue into the deep state. I'm not suggesting that the drones are the deep state's stuff. I have no idea. I really don't. And it's kind of like with the election. I kind of half suspect that whatever I say these drones are about, it will turn out to be the exact opposite. The truth is out there. The Pentagon chick is an alien. I don't doubt it. I think they're all aliens. Biden's been taken over by alien drones. All right. This news came out approximately 5 hours ago. Let us see what ABC News found out a few hours ago.
Large drones spotted near sensitive locations in the Northeast.
Strange story. And in a separate case on
Let-
the west
let me know
coast,
if you
a
can hear it.
Chinese national is now charged with flying a drone over a military base. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the details.
This morning, growing concern over hundreds of these mysterious drone sightings in the Northeast.
That is not an airplane.
Videos on social media showing drones described as much larger and faster than those typically used by hobbyists, hovering over parts of New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania in recent days. Some spotted over a U.S. military facility, over reservoirs, and over President-elect Trump's golf club and summer home. The FBI is investigating, but so far, no answers.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy.
A New Jersey congressman claims Iran is responsible.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. It's off the east coast of the United States of America.
But he's refusing.
And I wonder how he's gotten that information. We are living SG1. Right on, right on. Accounting Sheep, welcome, welcome. And check out this gentleman's channel as well. He has some wonderful music. And if you need your taxes done, I'm sure he can do it at a cut rate amount. Okay, I have no doubt. Biden's an alien, so you're saying that there's no intelligent life in space after all. It doesn't seem like it. And John Ponderero answering my question about the sound says 5 by 5. Okay, let's see what else, because they haven't talked about shooting the thing down yet.
To reveal sources.
Oh, they haven't shot down. I was thinking that they had actually shot down a drone when I read this. Evidently, they just shot down the plane.
To back up his claim.
They do work with the Air Force. They do work with national defense. They do work with drones.
The Pentagon denying any so-called mothership. On the West Coast, a Chinese citizen has been arrested, accused of using a drone to snap aerial photos over Vandenberg Space Force Base. Just hours after the launch of a U.S. spy satellite last month, authorities say he hacked the drone to enter no-fly zones. Some are comparing these drone incidents to that Chinese spy balloon the size of 2 school buses, which was shot down off the South Carolina coast last year.
So my responsibility is for the American people to have full disclosure. That doesn't mean we tell them military secrets. But when you have something the size of a Chevy Suburban hovering over your backyard, and these reports are real, and they don't deny them. The Pentagon doesn't deny the reports. Nobody does. There's something going on here, obviously.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Doing some actual reporting. They must be having a really weird deja vu. 2025, right? Okay, so going to read Fox News's. Many New Jersey drone sightings are lawfully operated manned aircraft, the White House says. John Kirby says no evidence foreign adversaries behind the New Jersey drones sightings. I guess we can play this. Let me know if this sound comes through. Sometimes it doesn't want to. Or I will if it'll
Meet
play.
the Ninja Turtles in Hero Wars. The legendary RPG.
Screw it. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby claimed Thursday that many of the purported drone sightings spotted over New Jersey for the past several weeks are actually lawfully operated manned aircraft. We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus, Kirby told reporters at a daily White House press briefing. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin. I'm curious if they're still investigating if they find Trump signs in the lawn. All righty. Using very sophisticated electronic detection technologies provided by federal authorities, we've not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborated any of the reported visual sightings, he said. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. The United States Coast Guard is providing support to the state of New Jersey and has confirmed there is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels. And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace. These are not the droids you're looking for. Move along. In a statement to Fox News Digital, Brian Harrell, a former DHS Assistant Secretary for Infrastructure Protection under the Trump administration, said Kirby missed a key opportunity to develop trust with the public. Well, you know, pursing your lips like that's going to age you so fast. Anyway, there's White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby. The government has a unique opportunity to build trust with the American public here, and they're fumbling the ball, Harrell said. Yes, additional authorities are needed. However, we have the tools and radar capabilities today to understand the details of these drones. While I don't think foreign nations are involved, it's clear to me that the government or contractors are testing capabilities. A joint Homeland Security and FBI statement said federal authorities were working with the New Jersey State Police and would continue to investigate this situation and confirm whether the reported drone flights are actually drones or are instead manned aircraft or otherwise inaccurate sightings. Historically, we have experienced cases of mistaken identity where reported drones are, in fact, manned aircraft or facilities. We're supporting local law enforcement in New Jersey with numerous detection methods, but have not corroborated any of the reported visual sightings with electronic detection, the statement said. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft operating lawfully. Both agencies said threats posed by unmanned aircraft systems are taken seriously. To be clear, they have uncovered no such malicious activity or intent at this stage, they said. While there is no known malicious activity occurring in New Jersey, the reported sightings there do, however, highlight the insufficiency of current authorities. Such doublespeak. I'm so glad we have elected these people. Kirby appeared to pass the buck to Congress, calling on lawmakers to expand existing counter-drone authorities, recognizing the potential threat of unmanned aircraft. Because that's what we need is more government. We certainly take seriously the threat that can be posed by unmanned aircraft systems, which is why law enforcement and other agencies continue to support New Jersey. I've often wondered why they continue to support New Jersey and investigate the reports, even though they have uncovered no malicious activity or intent. It's all the same thing. They're just repeating themselves over and over and over. Reporting is dead. Senator Richard Blumenthal, Connecticut, on Thursday decried the lack of information coming out of the White House. We should be doing some very urgent intelligence analysis and take them out of the skies, especially if they're flying over airports or military bases, Blumenthal said, according to The Independent. The Biden administration ought to be acting more aggressively against these drones that have been reported, if only to tell the American people who owns them, who's flying them, what they are. The lack of information is absolutely unacceptable. Accounting sheet. And then the drones were heard saying to each other, how the heck did we end up in Jersey? Quick, turn around. Yeah, exactly. We took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Democratic New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy and law enforcement officials have stressed that the reported drones don't appear to be a threat to public safety. But many state and municipal lawmakers have nonetheless called for stricter rules about who can fly the unmanned aircraft. The FBI is among several agencies investigating and has asked residents to share videos, photos, and other information they may have about the drones. At first, the drones were spotted flying along the scenic Raritan River, a waterway that feeds the Round Valley Reservoir, the state's largest aquifer, about 50 miles west of New York City. Wow, that's kind of disconcerting. But soon sightings were reported statewide, including near the Picatinny Arsenal, a U.S. military research and manufacturing facility. Here we have the two most brilliant people alive, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, looking on as White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby repeats himself, demonstrating he is in fact a robot. Representative Chris Smith of New Jersey said a Coast Guard commanding officer told him a dozen drones closely followed a Coast Guard lifeboat near Barnegat Light and Island Beach State Park in Ocean County over the weekend. During a congressional hearing on the matter, FBI Assistant Director Robert Wheeler testified that the Bureau does not know who is responsible for the drones spotted over New Jersey. Smith said he was told by officials at Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst they don't have permission from the Department of Defense to shoot down the unknown aircraft trailing their boats and retrieve them for analysis. In an interview with Fox News, Smith said he's written to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin seeking permission. Huzzah! So, as you can see, our intelligence network is deep at work protecting us with their blunder and their lack of answers. Update: Biden just pardoned the drones. I wouldn't put it past him. This has brought to my mind, anyway, a topic that I've been wanting to discuss in more depth. There's two coincidental things that have happened. Well, one is these drones that nobody knows about. So basically, the deep state, they're interested in what they're interested in. They're not interested in protecting us. And the other is that Joe Rogan has had Mike Benz on his channel, and Mike Benz is the person whose work finally persuaded me that the Trump election of 2020 actually was stolen. I did not believe it until I listened to a couple of his talks. And he does a lot of discussing on the Joe Rogan Experience about the deep state. I'm going to try to share as much as I reasonably can with you guys today. But I want to give a little bit of background before I do. Everyone saying hello, and hello, Big Al Presents. Hello, my friend. Please visit Big Al Presents. He needs some loving. He needs some monetization. I think he's closer. I hope he's closer than I am. He deserves to be closer than I am. And check out some of his 10-word reviews. And I believe you're doing Films with Friends later this weekend, but I can't remember exactly what it is. So, you know what I need to do? I need to make Big Al a wrench. Hold on. Do. All right. Big Al Presents. And no, I'm not putting him in a timeout. I'm trying to, here he is, add as a moderator. I'll make you standard moderator. Actually, you were the very first person to ever enter one of my chats, so I'm going to make you a managing moderator. So please, Big Al, feel free to drop links in there to send your next live stream if you would like to so do. So what is the Blob? Why the heck am I referring to this as the Blob? I had to do a little bit of digging because Wentz explained it, but I don't want to play the place where he explained it because it's on Rumble, and I doubt that YouTube will like it. I presented the wrong thing, but hey, Big Al Presents got 2 this weekend: Friday the 13th Part 3 and Journey to Bethlehem. Okay, and I'm assuming Friday the 13th is on a Friday, so let's stop presenting this because that's really not what I wanted to present, and present what I actually wanted to present. No, not slides and PDFs, although that would be cool if I was that kind of spiffy person. Oh, I see what I did, I think. This article, Politico, it's a little bit old. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to read the part that pertains to the Blob. How does Obama's foreign policy look a year into the Trump presidency? So this is way back in 2017. Now, maybe I should have heard this term before, but I had not heard of the Blob until recently. Rhodes, I don't even care who that person is, but they'd spent memorably much of the Obama presidency casting himself and the president he served in the role of scourge of the Washington foreign policy establishment, blaming them for decades of pointless, unsuccessful interventions in the Middle East, including but not limited to the Bush administration's 2003 invasion of Iraq. In a long New York Times Magazine profile of him released in 2016, Rhodes dismissively called them the Blob and cast the Obama foreign policy challenge as one of repudiating their conventional wisdoms. But of course, Obama started out castigating Washington for many of the same policy failures that Trump would eventually blame on him. And anyway, the Blob is a term that was coined either by Rhodes or by Obama. And Rhodes, who the heck is Rhodes? Just in the effort of being somewhat informative here. Barker, I don't care about Barker. Where's Rhodes? Okay, so Ben Rhodes was Obama's deputy national security advisor, most frequently described as having a mind meld with Obama. So that's who Rhodes is. The Blob is essentially a term for what Trump would call the deep state. It's the FBI, CIA, the State Department. It's all those bureaus that conspire to basically do us in. All right, Big Al's got 2 this weekend, Friday the 13th and Journey to Bethlehem. And Resolute Germ, hello. And while I'm promoting people, please visit Resolute Germ. He has a wonderful channel as well, as does the faithful bird woman. She's not a bird, she's a bird woman. You've been promoted, Connie Cleary. You're now officially a bird. Please visit her channel. She has wonderful videos of birds with music and sometimes of pets and sometimes of crafts. And she is often the host of watch parties and moderator extraordinaire. You will often find her moderating on the all-night radio shows. And I'm having a senior moment. The channel is escaping my mind. Dino. I know the guy's name is Dino. You should be impressed. I remember Dino. Oh, don't get old, people. It sucks. Fortunately, she's laughing about it instead of, sending drones out to take me out. So, the Blob is essentially the deep state, more or less. And Obama went from basically making fun of it and scorning it, I would suggest, to being one of the people pulling the puppet strings. I'm going to give my example of one of the things that convinced me that there is a blob. I'm presenting here the Steele dossier. The FBI offered Christopher Steele $1 million, basically to try to prove that Trump was an asset. I notice that even though on this channel we have looked up whether the Steele dossier was real, and we have found that both Snopes and CNN disavow it now, you notice that a simple Google/Yahoo search still shows articles from back when it was considered to be legitimate, which I think is BS. But let's dive in and see what we can find out about this so-called Steele dossier. So I really wish I could convince the FBI that I've got, all kinds of claims and stuff. I could use $1 million right now. Shortly before the 2016 election, the FBI offered retired British spy Christopher Steele up to $1 million to prove the explosive allegations in his dossier about Donald Trump. The senior FBI analyst testified Tuesday. This was back in 2022, I think just about the time. So this is either going to be announcing that it was fake, or this was just before. FBI supervisory analyst Brian Auten testified that Steele never got the money because he could not prove the allegations. Auten also said Steele refused to provide the names of any of his sources during that meeting, and that Steele didn't give the FBI anything during that meeting that corroborated the claims in his explosive dossier. Auten was testifying at the criminal trial of Igor Danchenko, a primary source for Steele's dossier, who is being prosecuted by special counsel John Durham. Danchenko has pleaded not guilty to 5 counts of lying to the FBI about his sourcing for some information that ended up in the dossier. Durham, a Trump-era prosecutor who is looking for misconduct in the FBI's Trump-Russia investigation, handled most of the in-court arguments on Tuesday and personally questioned Auten on the witness stand, a rare move for a special counsel and former U.S. attorney. In opening statements, prosecutors said Danchenko fabricated a source, concealed a source in his interviews with the FBI in January of 2017, where investigators were furiously trying to corroborate or refute the details of the Trump-Russia dossier. Prosecutor Michael Keelty said Danchenko's alleged lies corrupted the functions of the FBI, and I tend to agree with that. I don't think that any of this was cool. If you want to be anti-Trump, that's okay, but don't lie and say he's a spy unless he really is. Specifically, Danchenko's alleged deception-tainted surveillance warrants that the FBI sought against former Trump campaign advisor Carter Page in 2016 and 2017. Now, remember, Trump was saying that they were tapping him, and everyone said he was paranoid. Those lies mattered, Keelty said, because the FBI was essentially duped by Danchenko and then included his inaccurate information in applications submitted to a judge to secure the Page wiretaps. This case is about protecting the functions and integrity of our institutions, Keelty said. I'm going to skip down. Durham was appointed in 2019 by former Attorney General Bill Barr to find government misconduct in the Trump-Russia probe. After 3 years, Durham only secured one conviction of a low-level FBI lawyer. But his team used the Danchenko case Tuesday to put the FBI on trial in some ways and air some of the Bureau's dirty laundry for all to see. Durham debunks a prolific Trump lie. Durham appeared to break new ground on the well-trodden topic of the dossier with his revelation about the $1 million offer to Steele. CNN previously reported that the FBI reimbursed some expenses for Steele, who had been an FBI informant. But the special counsel also debunked a prolific Trump lie, because that's what matters, not that we're lying that Trump is a spy. What matters is that we prove that Trump lied about the Steele dossier, that it was the reason why the FBI started investigating his campaign in 2016. This false claim has been refuted dozens of times over the years. I don't know how, but according to this, in official Justice Department documentation, bipartisan reports from Congress, and numerous court filings. I'm curious if the 51 FBI agents signed off on those. But it was refuted again on Tuesday when Durham asked Auten, the FBI official, to tell the jurors the reason why the Trump-Russian investigation was opened. Auten confirmed what has been known for years. The probe was launched after the U.S. government got intelligence from a friendly country that a Trump campaign aide had bragged to one of its diplomats that the Russians had offered to help Trump beat Hillary Clinton. The situation was all the more interesting because Trump has repeatedly acted as a cheerleader for Durham and has said Durham will validate his suspicions about massive government misconduct regarding the Russia probe. On Tuesday, Durham inadvertently affirmed a basic truth about the Russian probe that Trump has lied about for years. The Steele dossier contained unverified allegations about Trump's connections to Russia, including his alleged business dealings, rumors of lurid trysts in Moscow, and claims that his campaign collaborated with the Kremlin in 2016. Trump vehemently denied these claims, and Steele's work has lost a significant amount of credibility over the years. Today, the dossier is largely seen as an unproven collection of rumors and gossip. Regarding the collusion claims, CNN sucks, and I'm not going to pay them a dime. So, all righty. Essentially, what I'm trying to hint at, well, that doesn't prove my point. The deep state basically, I firmly believe now, set him up. And I'm going to now share with you my source for believing a lot of those things. Hopefully YouTube doesn't blow me down, and hopefully I have the time to share. If I have to, I'll make this a two-parter, because I really do want you guys to have this information. And hello, Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Please visit his channel. Watch some of this wonderful person's content. He's also very supportive of fellow YouTubers in need. So far, something about a cheating hoe, and it's my turn for the controller, so I'm completely confused. I'm always confused. The Gorilla Censored Thoughts first message was censored. All I'm saying was, hey, keep it down. I'm trying to listen to the neighbors fighting. Yeah, well, the AI. Am I done with the drone talk? I am done with the drones, because basically nobody knows what they are. So now I'm going to dive into the Blob, who's supposed to be this group of people who are protecting us and providing information and intelligence, but they don't know jack or crap about the drones. Darth Plato, the reason why Russia seems to be favorable to Trump of sorts is because of his stance on NATO. Yeah, I understand that. But yeah, hopefully you're not upset. I am done with the drone talk, because all I can find really is a bunch of doublespeak. But for what it's worth, there's a bunch of drones. Some people are saying they came from the sea. Nobody seems to know where they're from, but they're not dangerous. I mean, I don't know how we know that, but evidently we do. Darth Plato, the drones are most likely U.S. controlled. Otherwise, they'd be shot down. Yeah, they're doing something, and they just don't want us to know, but they're not very good at covering their tracks. Sadly, John, no, the Steele dossier did not involve Pierce Brosnan. I think I would have believed it better if Pierce Brosnan had been the guy who presented it. But I'm going to now share with you some things from the Joe Rogan Experience interview of Mike Benz. Again, this is the person who convinced me, because I was convinced for 3 solid years that Trump legitimately lost the 2020 election. And this gentleman presented information that has convinced me since that no, that election was rigged. Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Too bad all the Russian bots are busy with Ukraine. I miss the days when us mods used to play Whack-A-Bot and we'd tally them at the end of a stream. Darth Plato, in all likelihood, the drones are U.S. controlled for the purpose of scanning for a threat like nuclear material. So there's probably something going on we're not hearing about to bother the public. Yeah, they don't want us scared, so they're going to scare us. Having people squawking about drones is preferable to squawking about U.S. drones looking for a threat. Not wrong. Not wrong. All righty. I now present to you Joe Rogan interviewing Mike Benz. All righty. Let us pause so that we don't get a copyright strike. Everybody's saying hello. I'm getting a lot of activity on Twitter. Oh, wow. A lot of people are sharing my stuff. That's fantastic. Hopefully people come in and listen to my pointless ramblings about the blob. But actually, most of what I'm doing is just going to be sharing what Mike Benz says, but I do want to add my own commentary. So hopefully this is worth your time. And I'm going to skip some things because I know we don't have time for all 2 hours and 43 minutes of this thing.
In 2014, with the Ukraine fiasco, the coup and then the counter coup. The coup was great for internet free speech. I mean, you really do need to start the story of internet censorship with the story of internet freedom, because promotion of censorship is sort of the flip side of promotion of free speech. And we've had this free speech government diplomatic role for 80 years now. When World War II ended, we embarked, we had the international rules-based order that was created in 1948. We had the UN, we had NATO, we had the IMF, the World Bank. We had this big global system now. There was a prohibition in 1948 under the UN Declaration of Human Rights that you can't acquire territory by military force anymore and have it be respected by international law. So everything had to move to soft power influence. And so the U.S. government took a very active role beginning in 1948 to promote free speech around the world.
And so how did we get where we are now? Darth Plato, if this is true, then the government deserves to be overthrown. I don't know if it's even safe for me to make a comment about that, but let's just say you're not necessarily wrong. Darth Plato, 1940s, try 1700s. Right on, right on. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, but I am going to add a little bit of commentary and a little bit of background. Having listened to a couple of other talks by this gentleman, he talks not here, but fairly extensively in other places about how in 1948, basically Truman, before it was the CIA, it was the Darth Plato help an old man out. It was the CSO. Was that it? We had an intelligence thing that it was specifically just supposed to be for the war. And the idea was once the war was over, because a republic isn't supposed to be gathering. I mean, it's a classic idea. A republic doesn't gather information about a bunch of people. Only in wartime do we need spies and intelligence. So Truman disbanded the CSO, but he was convinced later that we had to bring it back, and so they brought in the CIA. The CIA has done so many wonderful things, but one of the things that they did was they decided that we're going to leave American elections inviolate. We can't interfere with American elections because if we do, they're not legitimate. But we don't mind interfering with foreign elections at all. This started with Italy because there was the, frankly, legitimate fear that communists might win the elections and there would never be a free election in Italy again. And so there was the paradox. We have to rig the election to ensure that there are elections. John Pontorero, they're eating the bots, beep, boop, boop, boop. They're eating the drones, buzz, 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 boom. They're eating the drones of the Jersey people. All right, let's skip ahead to 9 minutes. 9. If I'm smart enough to get there.
Astley and other, luminaries in Congress.
I wish I was smart
there were a
enough
lot
to
of
bookmark
whistleblower documents came, and
the National Endowment for Democracy. Remember, we did a stream about that with Moira Kitty sometime back.
In front of this administration is just unbelievably enormous in deconstructing that.
Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit more. Maybe 1556. It was a good year. Darth Plato, can you tell me something interesting about the year 1556? Because you're more well versed in history. I've tried to learn a fair amount about it, but I think you know more than I do about that time period. All right. Yes, Space Fraggle, not wrong. Project Bluebeam. And what he brings up a few of those projects in this talk, but he doesn't bring out many. And I know why. It's because he won't be able to talk on YouTube if he talks completely openly. He has talked much more openly on Rumble. Darth Plato, since 1908, war has been increasingly watered down by legalism. Meanwhile, law and business seems to be taking on wartime practices. All war is deception. Yes, I have noticed that in my time in corporate America. The other thing I'd like to bring up is more and more the quote is that business is warfare. I would like to make a corollary of that, though, and paraphrase General Sherman, war is hell. So modern business, being war, is hell. Just my two. All right. This is the other thing that he talks a little more in depth. Here he gives kind of some tantalizing information, but on Rumble he has talked more in depth about how, in 2014, 2013, 2012, somewhere in there, we had the Muslim Spring, and there was a lot of, on some sides there was hope and there was joy and there was a belief that maybe Muslims are going to become a democratic group of people. And of course, all of that, maybe I shouldn't say all of that, but most of that seems to have collapsed like a house of cards. But it absolutely terrified the Pentagon, the State Department, the usual suspects, the Endowment for Democracy. They felt that the world had kind of unraveled, and that was the beginning maybe not the beginning, but it was a furtherance of their justification that it is okay to censor online. Now, if I'd known more about it at the time, I probably would have been in support of it, because while I was beginning to make a shift in my thinking, I was still a pretty hardcore conservative at this time that he's talking about. And my thought was that Islamist terrorists, just almost anything is justified in fighting those blankety blanks. So censoring ISIS, fine. You know, they're not American citizens. Darth Plato's their rejoinder. You got it. And I fell for it. I'm just going to admit my stupidity to you guys. I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. It's one of the reasons why I've gotten so upset with things lately, because I see friends and intelligent people falling for things that I fell for in the past. It's just on the other side. And I haven't really understood, how do I open someone's eyes? And honestly, one of the things I do here is I try to deconstruct, how the hell did I get my eyes open? And I don't know that they're open even yet. I just hope they're not as blinded by the light.
A book on it.
Okay. So once again, we have the groundwork laid in 1948. It's okay to mess with foreign elections. Not American, but foreign. I'm sure that there's muddy waters in between there and the Arab Spring, but the Arab Spring terrifies these people. It gives them an idea of how the internet and all this free speech can upend things. And then you get the Trump election. Again, he doesn't talk as freely here, but on Rumble, he discusses how a lot of people in the FBI, the CIA, the State Department were incredibly upset. I know that there were people saying that there were FBI agents going after Hillary, and I don't doubt that there were factions. I don't doubt that. But the bulk of the higher level FBI and CIA administrators were beholden to Clinton, were expecting promotions and raises and glorious projects from Clinton. And then, lo and behold, she's not our president. And then, of course, Trump, with his big mouth, said all these things to insult them. And they decided that he needed to come down. Let's skip ahead. 2353. Did you notice how angry and upset Rachel Maddow was about the person that Trump appointed? And do you remember her saying we shouldn't even have to approve a CIA director, that the CIA director is supposed to be above all the politics. The president's not supposed to appoint him. Sashi, the man from the future. Is that your Monday or my Monday for the poll? Greetings, just popping in for a drive by before I head to work. Appreciate you, sir. I hope the little bit you get to listen to this is useful and or entertaining. It would be my Monday. I've changed jobs, so I'm just trying to figure out the best way to maintain a decent streaming schedule and yet still present and yet still do a good job. Sashi, lots of people keep forgetting the deal that Ukraine should not. And I agree with this. I'm sorry. I'm sure I offend people on both sides of the aisle, but no, hell to the no. Ukraine should not be recruited into NATO. I am sorry, but I agree with that. Again, that doesn't mean that Putin's a good guy. He is one of the bad guys here. but we poked the bear, and then we wondered why the bear got upset. All right, and I am going to start a new poll. It looks like y'all are pretty strong on wanting me to keep Tuesday, so I will so do. But I'm going to start a new one about what you guys want to talk about next Tuesday. Do you want more Eric Wentz information? Let's see, what's some other cool topics? Let's see. What's another cool topic? Feel free to throw out a topic while I'm being a dodo head and making up a poll. Sashi, the big picture being Malaysia is too small to go out on its own in the international market. We used to count on the U.S., but the U.S. foreign policy has gotten weird. That is true. Blob. Information. Blob. And what's a fourth thing that would be quasi interesting? Is there any book I'm about to finish? Here, I know how I can do this. Trending topics. The Philippines are having elections. Benny Blanco, 49ers, Elden Ring. You know, I am just so not interested in the things that most people are interested in. James Kennedy arrested. Okay. You know what? No. What? Here we go. There's the poll. Please feel free to vote for what you would like me to talk about. So, let's get a little bit more of this that people aren't really talking about very much. The freaking academics are in bed with the government. They're actually working in tandem with them to try to decide what to censor, how best to censor. And I think it's completely disgusting because I was always taught that without freedom of speech, you don't really have academia. Sashi, the same reporter that ducked during a bombardment in Israel, she seems to have all the luck. TV crew captures extraordinary moment. All right, well, I will come back to Wentz, but just to give you guys a little bit of a break on the Blob, let us share the YouTube video, or part of it anyway. I'll probably just play the first little bit, but I will distract us for a while from all this information that Wentz is bombarding us with. And I'm sorry if I'm intent to get so much of it in. It's just I've wanted to talk about this guy for so long, and he has so much stuff. And like I say, I need to be researching a lot more of it.
Deep in the belly of the regime's Air Force Intelligence Headquarters,
these are English letters.
We are hoping to find traces of Austin Tice, an American journalist held captive in Syria since 2012. It's one of many secret prisons across the city. This specific branch was tasked with surveillance, arrest, and killing of all regime critics.
These are all cleaned out.
We don't find any hints of Tice, but come across something extraordinary.
I can't tell though. It might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked. Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
All right. So the second link is the CNN report. Right on, right on. Hail, Tim. Welcome and well met. We are talking about the deep state blob and how basically a lot of our freedoms have just been silently eroded away. And then I decided that I would distract us for a while with some information Sashi is sharing with us. He is also noting that this is a very clean prison. And yeah, you are not wrong. I guess Syria keeps a good clean prisons. And I thought about putting in the Syria stuff, but frankly, I think Moira Kitty would know more about the Syrian element than I would. So, there it is. I put in the topics that I put in.
We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? I thought I saw it move. Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
I think it's someone. Hello?
Okay, I just go with me.
Yeah. So. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Journalist.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for 3 months.
I think I would surrender to a hot blonde too. This looks staged. Yeah, I'm going to plead the fifth on it. All right, I have to head to work. See you guys. Take care, Sashi. God bless you, and I hope that you do well. And Sashi agrees. It does look staged. I'm going to play one more minute of it, and then I'll go back to sharing and talking, sharing the points that Wentz has made. I'll probably share 10 or 20 more minutes of that, and then I will share pointless things I've seen on Twitter, and then I'll close up shop and we'll go to Netters or whatever channel that we want to go to and watch another stream. So, nope, that's not the right button. Yeah, that's not the right button. Okay.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Tightly with both hands.
Okay. Does anyone have any water? Water. Mike. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
We start to walk him outside. Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free. This is the third prison they brought me to, he says. The third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
Well, if it isn't staged, it's a beautiful moment. That's a beautiful moment. All right, let's get back to Wentz. Oh, wait. That's freaking hilarious. The guy they were looking for, I bet, is in the desert under the sand. Right on. If you get where I'm going with that, yes, I understand perfectly. Fake. Well, we all know CNN is fake news. Although I think they're more real than MSNBC anymore. All right. And Tim, I think, yes. I've been talking about the deep state. Mostly I'm sharing information from a gentleman named Mike Benz, who opened my eyes to a lot of things that are going on. I'm trying to share as much of his stuff as I can, but obviously I can't share the whole video. it is definitely worth your time if any of you want to watch the whole thing.
Points readers to better information.
And I'm always so happy to see those things because I know I'm not smart enough to do my own research. I need big tech to tell me what to believe and think. Thank you, Big Brother.
Really bad things they remove. But before they can enforce, platforms have to identify the bad stuff, and they miss some of it. Actually, they miss a lot, especially when the posts aren't in English. To understand why, let's consider how platforms usually identify bad posts. There are too many posts for a platform to review everything. So first, a platform flags a small fraction for review. Next, human reviewers act as judges, determining which flag posts violate policy guidelines. If the policies are too abstract, both steps, flagging and judging, can be difficult. WiseText helps by translating abstract policy guidelines into specific claims that are more actionable. For example, the misleading claim that the COVID-19 vaccine suppresses a person's immune response. Each claimant.
So basically, now he's just describing this program algorithm that was made to censor us and how it works. So if you've ever wondered about why the YouTube algorithm doesn't like you, part of it's right here.
Includes keywords associated with the claim in multiple languages. For example, a Twitter.
Testing. Am I still on? Hello.
As their witches and it's evil. I'm the injured party here.
All right. Well, I think I have shared as much as I reasonably can, and maybe even more, because it sounds like I may not even still be up. In the chance that I am still playing, I'm going to share random, partisan, pointless things that I've seen on Twitter, and then I'll probably quickly call it a stream. This was shared by Snortopupus Q. Burr. Every time it snows, we get cardinals in the backyard. Really freaks out the dogs. Elon Musk shared this one. Isaiah L. Carter. Go screw yourself, you American mouse piece of crap. If you think you're speaking on behalf of every black person in America, I'm here to tell you you're effing wrong, especially when two black men helped keep that animal, Jordan Neely, subdued. Especially when black women on that train are on video thanking Penny profusely for protecting them. You state-worshiping dogs make me absolutely sick, and maybe it's time you and your fellow travelers got your reckoning. It's long overdue. Argentina ends the deficit for the first time in 123 years. Elon Musk has foretold in the prophecy, breaking the holy number has been hit. Tesla was selling at $420 a share. Brett Weinstein replying to the Coast guy, it matters a great deal who made COVID and why. It matters what was done in its name. The fact that those questions all strangely point back to Anthony Fauci tells us they aren't even distinct. Elon Musk lies are quickly corrected on this platform. X is where narratives go to die. According to NWokeness, NYCLU, Jordan Neely deserved basic human rights, a safe place to live, enough to eat, and access to mental health care. He should still be alive today. Readers added context. As part of a plea agreement with prosecutors after he punched a 67-year-old woman in the street in 2021, Jordan Neely was given free access to stable housing and health care at a treatment facility in the Bronx. He abandoned the facility after 13 days. Joe Rogan, whoops. Hundreds of deadly virus samples have vanished from an Australian lab in a major breach of biosecurity. Elon Musk saying, "You are the media now." Fun fact, the X account featuring a stormtrooper has a greater daily reach than the Atlantic and the Republic combined. X is the media now. The Young Turks guy, some folks on the left seem to genuinely think that just talking to the right wing is evil, or that your mind will melt and you'll become MAGA at first contact. And they really think that not talking to the other side and just calling them racist and sexist will solve our problems. Good luck with that strategy. Culture wars are what the establishment uses to divide and conquer us. I tell both the right and left wing that if you want to know who rigged the system in favor of the powerful, don't look to your left or right. Look up. Damon Imani, oh my gosh, Iran tried to assassinate Trump. Iran hacked Trump. Iran had a mothership near the U.S. coast. We need to go with war with Iran, guys. Best regards, CIA. Elon Musk, Mr. President, can we not drain the swamp? I don't even know this person. Yukon Cornelius, proudly open carrying since 1964. John Rich, CNN loses to Food Network as network's primetime viewership languishes. Here's the drones over New Jersey. Footage was not taken in New Jersey. Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. I guess I don't really need to share that one. Thomas Sowell, ours may become the first civilization destroyed, not by the power of our enemies, but by the ignorance of our teachers and the dangerous nonsense they are teaching our children. In an age of artificial intelligence, they are creating artificial stupidity. Man, it still shows I'm playing. Weird. All right, the Kiffness. I should have bookmarked the thing he's responding to. So someone was comparing the Time magazine cover with Mustache Man as Man of the Year and Trump as Man of the Year, because that's the obvious thing we're going to do. The Kiffness response was, there's no dog in Mustache and Trump's picture, presumably because it was eaten. Young Turks guy, two amazing things just happened. First, I went on about half a dozen right-wing shows, and they all agreed we should cut the Pentagon, prevent generals from working for defense contractors, and Edward Snowden should be pardoned. Second, absolutely no one on the left believes them. Deleted scenes. I'm not sure I understood this one. The Patriot Front announces they will be shutting down operations the same day that Wray steps down as FBI director. John Rich, why not have a mandatory 24-hour grounding of all drones, and any drone seen in that 24 hours gets shot down? That would bring some clarity to the situation. Eric Weinstein's response to the drones problem: I do not believe a persistent, slow-moving drone situation in New Jersey is just a head-scratcher and a big shrug. There are too many smart, high-agency technical people in the U.S. with tons of equipment, kit, and sensors, as if Caltech, Lockheed, IAS, and MIT don't exist. Bullcrap. Musk, great idea. Support voter ID so Trump Republicans can't steal another election in 2028. Don't let Trump cheat. Demand voter ID and proof of citizenship, paper ballots, in-person voting, and same-day results. Totally off topic, but the trilogy meter, how accurate is this? I found it perfectly accurate. You know, Star Wars, Back to the Future, etc., etc. Lord of the Rings, it's just all amazing. Just all of it's amazing. Rancor Steve, a lady was tweeting, why don't men talk about their problems? Rancor Steve replies, because nobody wants to take the time to hear what we're going through. Mike Benz, who we were just listening to, and I do urge you to listen to the rest of that video. The same people cheering the murder of the head of the United Health because you have to challenge the medical establishment were the same people wanting you dead for criticizing Pfizer because you can't challenge the medical establishment. Elon Musk, community notes, just bodied YouTube TV. A message for our members. We have always worked to offer the content you love with features to enjoy the best of live TV. To keep up with rising content costs, we're updating our monthly price to $82.99 a month. Readers added context. YouTube TV has now doubled in price over the last 5 years. The last price increase was in April 2023 at $72.99 from $64.99, a 12% increase. For reference, it launched at a cost of $34.99 per month in 2017, a total increase calculated at over 137%, inflation adjusted. Idiocracy is happening sooner than expected. This is the evolution of education in 1970. The student needed to calculate the surface area of the object. In 1985, calculate the surface area of the rectangle. In 2000, calculate the surface area of the rectangle, multiplying the length by the width. Basically telling you how to do it. 2010, choose the correct answer. What is the surface area of the rectangle? 4,000, 600, 800,000. 2015, choose the correct answer. What is the surface area of the rectangle? Michael Jackson, Canada, 600, breakfast. And 2018, color the rectangle with the color you prefer. I've been seeing this one all over. The redheaded libertarian guy, I'm laughing even harder. Roddy, the president-elect of the United States of America, even joking about the annexation of Canada is an assault on our sovereignty. Screw everyone in the U.S. who jokes or laughs at this. This isn't freaking funny. As a Canadian, I'm not freaking laughing. Screw you. Forged Outdoors shared this back of a motorhome with Ren Gill's Sick Boy emblem on it. Thought that was cool. And no, I'm not just sharing this because of the lasciviousness. Rancor Steve shared this is one of the reasons why he created the Manorama podcast, to help guys get away from OnlyFans. Model Lily Phillips, who slept with 100 men in a day. I don't even know how that's possible. Leaves people sick as she didn't know that HIV was sexually transmitted. Juanita Broderick, Kash Patel intends to reveal the Epstein and Diddy lists. Who will leave America in the next 39 days before the lists are made public? Thomas Sowell, if you want to see the poor remain poor, generation after generation, just keep their standards low in their schools and make excuses for their academic shortcomings and personal behavior. Please don't congratulate yourself on your compassion. Fletcher Williams, where did the money actually go? The Biden administration spent $1 billion promoting DEI in America's schools. Sassafras, people who sexualize babies are the problem. My mother-in-law, she got mad at me because I was trying to my wife and I talked about it. We decided that breastfeeding was the best thing for our son when he was born. But my mother-in-law convinced her that I was weird and sexually bizarre for wanting our son breastfed. So, yeah, this is I don't even care about the opinion of Sassafras, but this is messed up. If you breastfeed your sons, you're training them to be rapists when they grow up. You're basically teaching them that they can touch a woman's body whenever they want. If you oppose grape, stop breastfeeding boys. Well, I have no idea if I'm still streaming or not. Nobody's responded in a while, so maybe I'm talking empty air. I'm going to call it a stream and thank everybody. I'm also going to close the poll. 75% of you want me to talk about more stuff about Trump. So I will try to figure out something interesting to say about Trump between now and Tuesday. Nobody wanted to hear about the Kennedy arrest, and nobody wanted to hear more Eric Wentz information. I am sorry if that was boring. I was fascinated by it, but maybe it was too much. But more stuff about Trump. We can do that. Before I go, so before you go, let's get everybody for showing up. If you're able to hear me, great. If not, well, the censors won. Charlotte Nightstar the werewolf? Oh, hard question because of what is concerning. John Ponderero, thank you for showing up and for your kind comments. Space Fraggle, Kapla, glory to you and your house. Darth Plato, thank you so much for your kind comments and your contribution to the conversation. Accounting Sheep, Biden's an alien. Huzzah! Thank you for your kindness and your comment. Big Al Presents, hello, my friend. Thank you for showing up and your kind comment. Resolute Germ, thank you for your kindness and your comment. I'm hoping that I'm still streaming. But if I'm not, I'm not. Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Something about a cheating lady. It's my turn for the controller. Yeah, Project Bluebeam. Maybe I should have put that in as the topic. Sashi, the man from the future. Hail, welcome and well met. Connie Cleary, the faithful bird woman of YouTube. Thank you for showing up and for your kind comments. Tim, hail and well met. I hope that you are doing well. You know, maybe I should check in here. Doom, doom, doobie, 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 doo. Очень интересно. Well, I have no idea if anyone's still here or not. Okay, I am still on. Okay. Either you guys were riveted or it's just all too appalling. Or I put you to sleep. Either way, I was having fun. Stop breastfeeding boys. If you got nothing else from the stream, know that you should stop breastfeeding boys. It's been said that life is pain, and anyone telling you otherwise is trying to sell you something. I am, in fact, trying to sell you something. I'm trying to sell you on the idea that you are, in fact, smart enough and wise enough to know how to run your own life. I'm trying to sell you on the idea that liberty is better than tyranny and freedom better than slavery. Lastly of all, I would like you to know you're not going mad, you're going sane in a world gone mad. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that this was at least mildly entertaining, but mainly I hope that you learned a little bit. I appreciate y'all. I hope to see you later on Netters Network, and have a wonderful evening. God bless you all.